Yeah, hi, welcome everybody to the Lucy Shawl knit along. So we're really happy to have you here. We hope everybody is staying cool and is not in the middle of this awful heat wave. I was saying before we hit record, I was just mentioning that my daughter is in Vegas where it's very, very warm and is having that awful heat wave. So um, I feel for anybody who's suffering with that as well. Um, We're going to start asking for questions. You can raise your hand on the app, or you can raise your hand literally, or you can start putting messages in the chat if someone else is talking and you think of something, and I'll kind of be the moderator. I'll turn it over to Shauna, but I'll kind of be the moderator to organize the questions that are fed to her, and she will be able to share this lovely pattern. Once again, this is mine. Where is it? With that lovely little ruffle. I just think it's so pretty. I adore the fact that it's so long. I traveled a bit the last few weeks, and I shouldn't say long. Yeah, long, not wide. Yeah, it's long. And I traveled the last few weeks. I traveled a little bit, and it was so nice to have it to wrap around my shoulders in air conditioning. And I liked the fact that it really stayed on my shoulders because it was so long. So take it away, Shauna.
Great. Hey guys. So I am Shauna. A lot of you guys know me from Facebook, from the other knit along that I did with the Pemberton, I think the sweater. We converted it from just flat panels into the round. So I can help anyone who wasn't there for that to do that later. This is the first shawl that I think I ever designed. Honestly, I've designed like a ton since then, but I think this is the first one that I ever put like to actually to paper. I have been knitting. I started knitting when my daughter Lucy was I was pregnant with her, and she will be 18 soon. So I've been knitting for almost 2 decades, very consistently every day. I crochet as well. I have taught knitting crochet classes, both in person and online. So I'm here to answer all of your questions that you may have with anything that has to do with yarn, basically. So I also spin yarn, so I can answer everything. And we're getting sheep next weekend so that I can literally make my own yarn from farm to shawl. So I'm your one-stop shop. But I am here today to talk specifically about the Lucy shawl. This is the one that I made. I like it when the colors like of the solids kind of combine into the stripes, but that's my preference. So I made it with one. And unfortunately, my colors, I took so long knitting it up, it's discontinued now. So sorry, guys. This is mine's vintage now. My apologies. So okay, so I just saw somebody ask in the chat if it is I don't remember the wording, but this is definitely not an advanced shawl, something that beginners can do. Everybody can do it. My husband has knit part of one, and he's a very novice knitter. If anybody was here with us for the last knit along that I did, he was just learning to knit then, and now he is knitting part of this shawl. So that is how novice it is. So I am here. Hit me with your questions.
I'd like to see the beginning of the shawl. I just wasn't sure about the ruffle if I was doing it correctly.
Yeah, so the ruffle, I can show it to you. The ruffle is actually just made by not gathering the stripes for the solid again. And so, oh, you're at the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see where you are. Okay, so the way that the shawl is constructed is we have the beginning piece, which we want to start with the solid color. And then we double the stitches, all of the stitches
Right.
here. And then we come back in and we knit them together to make the original number, not the original number, but the original number plus, you know, the 2, 3, the few that we added on here. So the ruffle comes in at the end. So do you mean like how it's like gathered out?
Yes, I guess so.
That just comes from the fact that we're doubling the stitches and then taking them back in together.
Okay.
So it'll naturally create like a gathered effect.
Right.
And really on the first couple, I don't think you see it until you knit about 3. I have another one here that I started that I really love the colors of, and these are in stock. Also, I choose to cut and then weave in my ends. Nobody judge me. But I think it's hard to see with the first couple, honestly, until you get a few further out and then it becomes more apparent.
Okay, maybe that was it. I just didn't want to
Yeah.
go too far if I was doing it incorrectly.
Yeah, as long
I
as
hate
you're
drawing.
doubling, oh no, don't even tell me. As long as you're doubling the number and then taking them back in together on the solid stripe part, it'll create a gathered effect.
Okay, thanks so much.
Sure, no problem.
Shauna, we have a question. Someone says they're confused by the slip knit instructions.
Okay, let me see what the instructions are.
I mean, it's just like any regular slip knit.
Yes, but I want to see how it's, so I have the original one that you sent me. Did you update
So
the,
yeah, in the email I sent you last night,
look at that.
well, maybe not. Here, hold on. Let me just shoot you a link.
I just want
Yeah,
to
it's
see how
possible I
worded.
didn't. Let me shoot you a link really quick, Shauna.
Let
Okay.
me get up. Does everybody mind if I get up really quickly and get my cell phone so that I can look at it? There. Oh, never mind. It's here. Okay, give me 1 second. I just want to read the wording on it so that you can. Taking forever to load. So with this slip knit, what you do is you slip. Let me actually just do it on the camera for you guys. So let me join my yarn because I don't know, I don't even know. Like I was gonna say I'm lazy and I don't want to carry it up the side, but then it's way more work at the end for me to put it in together or to, you know what I mean? Somebody acknowledge me. So yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so what we do is, and I'm gonna point this down and it's probably gonna fall off my lap. Look at it. Wow, what if I wasn't wearing pants? I'm kidding, I am. Okay, so you have your working yarn. And I'm sorry, it's gonna be backwards. And I'm also sorry, I have little thumbs. I have brachydactyly type D. Nobody make fun of my little thumbs. They're like Megan Fox. So really they're celebrity thumbs. Okay, so you just take it like you're gonna knit and then slip it, slip 1 stitch, slip the 2nd stitch, come back through purlwise through both stitches. This is not in focus. And then knit them. And I can do it again. So you're gonna slip the first one knitwise, slip the second one knitwise, come back in purlwise, well, like it would be purlwise, like through the front, and then just knit it. But there's tons of videos online that are way better than what I just did. And so I would suggest like Googling.
The instructions say to take it, so after you do that, it says to slip these 2 stitches back onto the left needle and go back through. So that's why I thought maybe it was a specialized slip knit, but you're saying
No,
it's
no. It's just like normal.
okay.
It's back through, I think just meant like back through like the purlwise to get it to knit it.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, here's another question, Shauna. How do you manage the colors with the 2 skeins of multicolored yarn? Do you just knit the colors as they come up, or do you try to combine the 2 skeins to work the same colors as you go?
I'm not sure that I understand that question.
Okay, sure. Cheryl, can you? Where's Cheryl?
But I also saw somebody before that ask how to knit through the front and back, so I want to do that too. And
Okay, we'll do that in a moment. Let's finish this one. I can let me answer this. You just knit the colors as they come up. You don't want to combine, and you don't want to try to engineer the colors. This one, that I did was just knit directly as the colors come up, and then when you're done with one skein of rainbow, you go to the next skein of rainbow and you just knit those colors as they come up. You don't try to engineer where the colors are.
Okay, I guess because in the picture of the shawls, it looked like that bright pop of color was on the ruffled edge, and I didn't know how you achieved that.
It was an accident. It's just how it came up. Here, let me show it to you again. Hold on. Some people are wanting to come in here. Okay. We started out with one, with the beginning of one, and then it was knit. Now, if you want the light on the other end and both darks in the middle, then you could probably start from the inside of one ball and then start from the outside of the other ball if you want.
I would say probably to do that if you want it to look consistent. Like if you want like a consistent color to go all the way through without any breaks, I would start on the inside of one ball and then start from the outside of the next ball. Because like for me, it was the tan was in the middle, and then I knit and the navy was on the ends. And so then if I would have started in the middle of the next ball again, then it would have been just a line here where the navy ended and the tan began, and I would have done tan out again. So I just changed it so the 2 navies met, and then did it the opposite. So it ended with
right, exactly. And in my opinion, there's no wrong way to do it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Is if you want it to look like that, then that's great. If you want it to be ombre all the way through and then ombre all the way through the same as you just did, then you can do it the same way. There's no right or wrong way to do that. You're going to have ombre colors in the middle, and it just depends on if you want a big block in the middle like Shauna just said, or if you want the ombres to repeat throughout the 2 balls. Carrie asked, we'll get to the knit front back in a second here. Carrie asked, they are not 2 multicolors, one is solid and the other is a multi. There should be 2 balls of Cumulus Rainbow, which is the multicolored yarn.
But
so they're not separate colors,
right? But the colors that are used, like there are 2 colors used: the rainbow color and then the solid color. So
right. And then the other one is a solid,
right?
Yeah, right. So that makes sense. Okay. So now to somebody asked way back how to knit front back, KFB.
Yes. So I have my handy sample. It is not really a sample, but will be. Ooh, you guys fell. Okay. Okay, so good, got it. Okay, so what we want to do, it's super simple. So we're just going to take the yarn and we're going to go and knit into it just as usual. So knit front to back. And then we're going to pull it through, but we're not going to slide the yarn from the left needle off. We're going to go back into the yarn and go onto the loop that's on the back and knit into that one, just then front to back. And then then pull that through. And once you've done that, then pull it off. And so you have two little loops here that you've made, 2 stitches. And I wish that this would focus on me, but you're going to see one has a little bar through it. And that's just where the, that's right. If it has the little bar, that's just where the stitch crosses through for you. So I'll do it one more time. So you just knit into it like normal. I'll go to focus a little bit. You just knit into it like normal. And then you go into the back of the stitch and then knit into that and bring it through and slip it off. And then that's all. Super, super easy. And then it just doubles your stitches without making any holes, without making any ruffles, without, I like to do that when I'm adding stitches, when I'm increasing on like the sides, the borders for like a shawl or something.
Okay, excellent. Does that make sense? Does that help the person who asked, the knitter who asked? Then we have another question that says, can you also show how you change colors? My stitch is very loose where I change yarn colors.
Yes, I can show you how I do it, and I am going to yarn HE double hockey sticks for the way that I do it. But honestly, there's no right or wrong way to do anything. The only wrong way to do it is what they're doing now on TikTok, which is like putting like fabric glue and like don't glue your don't put glue on it. But like, okay, so what I do is are you're cutting the yarn?
Yes.
I assume, yes. So I take it and I'm like loosey goosey here, like, and so I'll knit this row with it just being loose. And I leave probably, well, these ones are short because I trust myself, but normally I leave like, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches of yarn, maybe. These ones are a little bit less, but like, 4 inches, 5 inches. And then after I've knit this row, I'll go back and I'll tie a loose knot into it just to keep it in place. So like, I don't tie it like it's, never going to come undone. Like I'm, mooring a ship into the shipyard, like I just tie it so that it's going to stay. And then, when I've knit like 8 of these or whatever, I go through and I untie it. And then I like weave in my ends and then, it's better then. But yeah, I am not, I don't know, like when I've worked for yarn stores, they're like, don't teach that. Don't teach them to tie knots because it's not like specifically the right way. But you're not going to mess anything up and it's not going to go anywhere. So it's fine. That's what
Go ahead, you had a follow-up?
Just
Sounded like somebody might have had a follow-up question on that. Did that make sense to everybody? Yeah. Yeah, I think this is a good way to do these stripes rather than to try to weave them on the edges. I agree with Shauna that weaving it on the edges is going to give you, it's going to give you that plain yarn along there every time. And even though it's a little bit of work to weave these ends in, I think it gives a prettier look. That's, my opinion. But again, knitting, it wouldn't be wrong if you would want to, weave it up the sides and have that extra little bit of plain yarn on the edge. There wouldn't be a wrong thing to do. Knitting is one of these things to where if you start getting really rigid into it's not done this way or it's not done that way, you know what I mean? It kind of, I know people would probably disagree, but I feel that it just kind of boxes you into a corner, and that knitting is meant to be fun. And you might do something one way and then a couple years later decide I want to try another way. I like this way better. Or there's just lots of ways of doing things. And the gauge is, are you having fun? Are you enjoying what you're doing? And do you feel good about what you've done when you're finished? So that's just my approach to knitting. Yes, Jane, you have a question.
Yeah, I'm going to expound on that ruffle a little bit more.
Sure.
When does that automatically, organically appears on the piece?
Yeah, that's what. Go ahead, Shauna. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. If you want to answer, go ahead.
No, you go right ahead.
Do you mean the end ruffle on the edge?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it does. It very much is organic. It is just we are not like, we have doubled all of our stitches here for the rainbow, and then we don't close them back up with the solid color. And so because they're double, then it just makes the ruffle on the edge.
That makes sense. I just didn't know how it was just going to happen.
Yes,
That
I
makes
know
sense.
it's like magic, isn't it? It's so cool.
Yeah. Good. Thank you.
So cool. You're welcome. I see from Patty is asking if there are any tips for weaving the ends in. Do you have a special method that you use, Shauna?
What I do, and it also is probably, I don't know. I don't know if everybody loves it, but what I like to do just to be double safe, because I don't know, for me, I don't trust just weaving the ends in. Like, I don't trust just weaving like 6 inches of ends in. Like, I want this to last forever. I want my kids to have it. Like, I'm gonna make my kids have it. I'm willing it to them. I've spent so long on it. They're taking it and they're gonna have a trunk full of stuff I made. I don't care. But so what I like to do is I weave in about, I don't know, like maybe like 6 stitches, and then I'll kind of pull it through halfway through one stitch and do like a slip knot in like a stitch in the back of a stitch here, and then kind of pull it kind of tight and then weave it in like a few more stitches just to give it like that extra like oomph. Like, I just want to make sure it's in there. But also at the same time, one of my tips is, for this shawl in particular, weave them in as you go. Like, I did not weave this one in as I went. I left them all to the end, and I was like, this is never getting done. It will never get done. I will never finish this. And then my kids didn't mail it off to Pamela for like 6 months. So it really didn't get done. But like, it's so much extra work. It seems like so much extra work if you leave these for the end, because there's so many. There's 2 for each. I mean, there's 4 for each stripe. So this is back. There's 4 for each stripe. And so if you just do it as you go, then I don't know, it just seems like a lot less work. But I wish I could follow my own advice because I started doing that like here. So I have like maybe like this much done. And then I've done this much and haven't woven them in. So I'm gonna take my own advice and do that after I get off of here.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Everybody's smiling faces. I love all of you when you come live on the camera. It's so nice to see your face and your reactions as we talk. So, any other questions? Any other thoughts as you're moving along? Can everybody hold up their
Yeah, I want to see
their
what color everyone's doing. Let me get everybody. Wait, let me get everybody on here. I'm just viewing just the speaker. Let me put gallery on. Okay. Leah, your little tiny one.
I love it. Oh, I like that. Yeah, I love the white with that, Leslie. It's so clean and clarifying, that nice white stripe. Oh, and Barb. Oh, yes.
Terry,
Love
I think
those
yours
colors.
too. Terry, what color are you using for your rainbow? Oh, I like that.
You're on mute, Terry. Oh, you're using the Pacific Sky? Is that Pacific Sky?
It's called Mermaid Dreams.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. One of
oh,
my favorites too. Oh, yeah, and Heather, that's gorgeous. Oh, with that beautifully kind of rusty. Oh, yeah. And that tropical. Leah's got the, what's it called? Something tropical. Yeah, it's really clean and summery. Just love it. Just love it. And Leslie with the
I feel like
is that, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I was gonna say I feel like Jane had pink.
Oh, lovely, lovely.
Yeah, that's nice.
I believe it's called sweet pea.
Nice.
Yes,
I
it
like
is.
that.
Yes.
I like
Yeah.
that.
And it's the lotus flower, but it did
Mhm.
start out with this particular ball of yarn. It was real gray and white. And now I'm finally getting into some more colors.
Mhm.
So, but
Well, they're just all beautiful. Is there a way to carry both yarns? Barbara's asking, is there a way to carry both yarns up the side?
There is,
Yeah.
and you, Pamela, can answer that one because I hate doing that. And I know that you have done that on your Iris shawl, I think.
You know, I did it, and I'm not sure I'm qualified to teach. Hold on. Let me just give you a. I did do it, but I didn't have fun. Oh, but there are some great tutorials on how to do it. And then if I give this to you, oh, see, this one is perfect right here. If I give this one to you, then you are going to be able to look at it again and again, right? And this is perfect because this is stripes, and I'm going to stick it right here in the chat.
Yeah, I do not. I just I don't like it. Then I feel like I have to, and for any that, and that's just me personally. If anyone wants to do it and has questions after they watch the video, like I can definitely help you out with it. Um, I think after I have done it, I think it looks better then to go through and if you can crochet, to do like a crocheted edge along it. Because especially for this one, because there's just so much yarn that because some of the stripes are so long I'm like holding up just the blue because the stripes are longer, so you're gonna see the other color in there. So I just think it's personally, I think I like the look of it when I go through and do like a single crochet up the entire length of the shawl and just pick both of those colors up as I go, so it hides them both and then kind of just gives it like a cleaner edge. But then you got to decide, do I do it in the rainbow color? Do I do it in the solid color? And then I don't know, it's just like more options that you have in your life. You already have so much. So
Excellent. Excellent.
and then nobody asked me what color I am doing for mine. I went and got my own colors. I went off brand. I got purple. I wanted it to look like a lilac tree. It does that.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and I got them all from the Dizzy Knitter. So if you want to make your own combo after this, they're still there. So I think it's Lily Lollipop and Dusty Woods, I think is what they are.
Yeah, yeah, those are beautiful colors. Yeah, the combinations are really endless. So feel free to mix and match. This would make a, this is a simple enough and a I mean, it has different elements, so it's not like a very, very beginning project, but it's not, complex once you kind of know how to knit and purl and do some of those knit front backs, which is very basic to knitting. So it's a great thing to either learn or to practice those skills if you are a beginning knitter that's ready to move up into the advanced beginning category. So this is a great project for that. Anyway, my point is it's also a great project to make for gifting because it's not wildly difficult. It will not take you, months and years of your life to do.
Yes.
And it's so beautiful, and the colors are just endless. The combinations, you can combine endlessly. So that makes it a very creative project as well. If you want to just purchase 2 balls of rainbow and a hank of solid cumulus, and you're off and running. And I know several people. Is there anybody here that use something other than cumulus? Some people were going to do that as well. I'm not seeing anybody. Oh, Leah, are you using? Oh, let's take a look here. You're using something other than cumulus. You're using, is that a worsted or a fingering? I can't quite tell.
It's probably a DK, a small DK.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And
I'm very much interested. Are you in on the Facebook group as well? I'm very much interested in seeing what it looks like when it's finished. Very curious.
it should be this, it's a silk cotton combo and should be
nice.
this blue with pink.
Nice.
I really just started this to try the pattern. So, but it's working up okay. So I'm gonna see how it does and how much yarn it uses to do it on this little format.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what the size of the actual, I mean, maybe you'd come out with just a really cute little scarf, that was just
scarf.
I was thinking,
like a little
the kind that will just tie right about here. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm very interested in that.
I think that's 20. I think that's 24 rows.
Uh-huh.
There we go. On size.
I think they're cute. They're cute when they're that small. They look like a little Mexico.
Yeah. So I'm using, let's see. So Debbie says I'm using Malabrigo, a dark red and a dark mixed. Lovely, lovely, lovely.
Nice. If you're using something different, like if you make the shawl, of course, purchase your yarn from the Dizzy Knitter. But if you make it a few times and you want to try something different, I think it would be fun. I have never done it, so don't come for me if it doesn't look good. But I think it would be fun if you use something with some texture for the solid stripe. You know, just
like something fuzzy. Put a
yeah,
put a strand
something
of
fuzzy.
kid mohair or something with it.
Yeah, something fuzzy or just something crinkly. I know that they have that like kind of crinkly yarn in acrylic now, but just something with like a little bit of texture for the solid stripe. And then just like even just then a solid color. If you do that, like a solid color for the rainbow color. And the first few times I knit this, I just knit this with one color all the way through. And it looked fine. It was still like visually interesting. The next few times I knit it with colors that were like an ombre, but I didn't differentiate between the stripes. So I just knit it like it was just like one big ombre, and that was still visually interesting. Like there are a ton of different things that you can do with it. And like Nicola was saying, like it is they are easy stitches, but when you're finished, it doesn't look like an easy project. Like it doesn't look like a beginner's project when you're finished with it. It looks more than the sum is worth much more than the parts. So
Yeah. No, it's lovely. And that's part of the fun of knitting is being creative and you know, doing it different ways. So anybody else with any other questions?
So I
Oh.
have a different question. So
Yes,
if you
Lauren.
sign up for the Disney Knitter group on Facebook, is that what the knit along is? Or how do you? I signed
The
up for
group.
Facebook and it just brings me to the shop.
Oh, there's a group. Let me give you the group link. If you just
Is it the Disney Knitter group?
yeah.
yes. Yeah, it should
VIP
be
discussion group?
Yes.
Okay, then I think I just signed up.
Okay. Let me go on and I'll admit you. Anyway, the group is for all the knit-alongs that we hold. We hold 1 or 2 a month. Usually we don't really have a schedule, but usually we do 1 or 2 a month. And also for people who just buy projects from us and who have a quick question to ask or want a little support on, you know, the Pemberton sweater, how do you knit that? Or we did do a knit along on that, but you know, there's any number of designs that people might have some questions about, and we're happy to hop in there. And I'm in there probably at least every other day. And Shauna's in there as she's able, and we love to help.
Yeah, and if you guys will tag me, I'm in there as soon as I get tagged. So just tag me and don't feel like you're tagging me too often. Like I don't have anything else to do. Like what else am I doing? I'm knitting for myself. So like I'm not doing anything else.
Yeah, well, that's very sweet of you, Shauna. I'm sure you have other things to do.
You would be surprised. I mean, I have, you know, nothing actually. Nope, my bathroom is finished and my chickens are all outside now. I don't have any more baby chicks in the house. So yep, that's it. So I'm just
So I have a
that's
quick
lovely.
question.
Yes, Marilyn.
I apologize. I missed the first 5 minutes. I couldn't get in. But my question is the directions that we have, the shawl should come out like the pictures that we've seen, because I came in when you were talking about starting at the beginning of the outside of the ball versus the inside of the ball for the color to be.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So are you asking how whether you pull from the inside or the outside of each ball, how you do that to make it look like the pictures?
Yes,
okay,
exactly.
I believe both of the shawls, both the one that I have here.
Yes.
Let me see if I can figure this out. Yeah, I think both the balls, this one, for instance, I'll start with this one that I have, and then Shauna can speak to hers. This was started with the light part of the ball. I believe that's the inside of the ball. And then it goes all the way to the outside. And then it appears that the outside was started again with the second ball and ending with the inside. So we started with the inside of the cumulus rainbow.
Okay,
And then when we attached the second ball, we started with the outside of the
that's what I
cumulus
wanted to know.
rainbow.
It does it, okay, thank you. That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
and
And
mine-
Shauna, was yours
mine-
done?
Yep, mine's done the same way. So I have a big dark blob in the center because my navies met. My navy was the outside of the ball on the first one, and then I started from the inside on the second one. No, I started
Which
from
is
the outside
interesting
on the second
because
one.
yours did not do that. You didn't have Pam, you didn't have a big blob of one color in the middle.
Well, I
Her-
didn't
her
because,
stripe.
yeah, I didn't because I chose a stripe that was contrasting to all of the colors of the ombre. And
Okay.
Shauna chose a solid that was the same of some of the colors of the ombre, which causes those colors to combine.
Yeah, because I
for a
ordered enough
section.
to make 3 shawls, and mine I want to
Oh.
wait. I want like Pam's, but my kids want like Shauna's. So that's why I'm asking
Yeah.
this.
Oh, okay.
So you started.
If,
So Pam, repeat again. I'm going to write it down. You started with the outside first.
Well, you
no, I
can
believe,
do. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, just
I
start with the
believe I
light. As long as I know to start with the light color.
yeah, I believe this is the inside.
Did you
Okay.
get the same color as her?
Yes, that's why it's easy for me to
Okay.
ask her.
Yeah, so I started from the inside, and then on the second ball when I attached it, I started from the outside,
Outside.
and then
and
it ended
Shauna-
up with this color on the
Yeah,
end.
that-
You know, the ends are
right.
the same.
That's what
But-
my want. My kids want the other way.
Well, so
I
then
never make it easy.
you can start with
No.
a dark, or yeah,
Yeah.
you can
It'll make it interesting.
exactly.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Absolutely, you're very welcome. And remember that that these rainbow balls are not identical.
know.
You know what I mean?
Oh, no, I know.
they're-
I'm doing something now that's the same thing. So I'm used to that.
Yeah.
That's why I love the shawl so much. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so Leslie says to cover the edge, if you carry the yarn at the edge, you can do a knitted I-cord edging instead of a crochet. Love that idea. I am, for some reason, just me, I'm in love with I-cord edging. So then Patty asked exactly the question that I would have asked. Do you add the I-cord edging as you're knitting the shawl or put the edging on after you're done? So Leslie, which have you done?
I've done it, adding it at the, after I've done with the shawl, then I do the I-cord edging, but I
Then you
think
knit
Stephen,
just-
yeah,
you
but I
knit
think
yards
Stephen,
and yards of it.
right, I think though Stephen West, if you go to some of the Stephen West shawls, he does I-cord edgings on some, and I think he does it at the same time, if I remember.
Yeah, you can do it as you go.
Yeah, you can do it at the same time. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how you do it with changing the stripes. Shauna, would you know how to do that?
Yes, but then it takes the shawl from like a beginner's shawl to like
Yeah.
an advanced shawl.
Right.
Yeah.
So you would have to have a separate ball of yarn. You would have to, I would knit it at, honestly, it's less of a headache to knit it at the end.
Yeah.
I have done it in the past and I hate sewing. I don't know, anybody that's been to the Pemberton with me, like I said, like every single time, I hate sewing. I have like 37 projects that are completely finished, but I just haven't woven in the end. Hate sewing. I would rather sew an entire I-cord on a mile of work than do it at the same time.
With the
Well, I don't-
stripes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't sew,
with the
I don't
stripe.
sew the I-cord on. I knit it on.
After you've made the long I-cord, then you knit it together.
No,
what you're
I
saying?
make the I-cord as I attach it.
Right. But this
too.
is what I was saying is that it would be really difficult. I mean, it would like, and like Shauna's saying, it would take it, from a very easy experienced beginner, advanced beginner project to something far different. if you tried to do it with the stripes would add a layer of difficulty. Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah, I would just do the solid color and have the I-cord edging all one color, but I don't make like the whole, I mean, you could make the I-cord on one of those little spool knitting machines and do it very fast, but I just knit it on. So I take one stitch from the edge of the garment, and then add 2 stitches on, but I just keep, as I go along the edge, I just pick up another stitch, pull a stitch through the edge. So I'm attaching as I
see what
create
you're
the
doing.
I-cord.
yeah.
And it's not really that advanced.
I see what you're saying. I thought you were talking about a knitted I-cord edge. So yeah, okay. I get it. I love it. And I love the fact that you're comfortable with that. And so you can adapt the pattern to like, and say, oh, you know, that would be pretty. I would like that. And then you can adapt it. I just love that. I mean, that's part of, you know, you pick up a skill here and then you pick up a skill here, and then you can kind of put them together and make something truly, truly one of a kind. And beautiful. I applaud that.
And it's, you know, I take for granted that I can knit and crochet, and I know that a lot of people can't. And so I'm just like, oh, just, you know, crochet the edge on. And, you know, there are a lot of people that are like, I don't know how to crochet. So like an I-cord edge is a good alternative that's knitting for, you know, an edge like that. So that's a humbling me, because I you know, I take that for granted. So thank you for.
Yeah. Well, the crochet, I think the crochet would be faster and easier, but it wouldn't be as stretchy.
That's true.
Yeah, but you might not. I mean, you might or might not want it stretchy, but that's a whole other, you know.
Right.
And it's fine if you want it stretchy. That's great.
Though to tell you the truth, probably on this project, I will probably weave in the ends.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So
for those who want to carry, there are solutions to do that edge. But yeah.
Good point. And I like what Barbara said. I too love an I-cord edge. To me, it's like putting a frame around a picture. That's a really good way of putting it. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I'm very partial to them as well.
It does look really professional.
It does. It really does.
My gosh, now I gotta make an I-cord edge shawl for you guys.
That's
there
right.
You go. There you go.
That's your homework.
I know.
Giving you homework.
That'll be next month.
Well, looks like we're almost done with our time today. Are there any really other quick questions before we go? And everybody be sure and hop into the Facebook group if you want to ask a quick question in between sessions, or just, you know, join in the conversations there in the group. That's great. But any last questions?
Where are you located?
I am located in Ventura, California.
Oh, okay. It's interesting to find out where everybody's from. That's why.
Absolutely.
I'm coming from New York.
You're from New York. And
I'm sorry, where's Shauna?
North Carolina.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Virginia. I'm in Virginia.
I'm in
very good.
From
Missouri.
Yeah. Missouri.
I'm in Denver.
Yeah.
Denver. I love Denver.
Montana.
It's hot here today.
I'm in Maryland, but I'm from Connecticut.
I'm also in Maryland.
Also Maryland.
A lot of East Coasters.
My gosh,
wow.
a lot of Maryland. You guys are like the whole population of Maryland, like right here.
I think I'm the only one from the Midwest.
Oh, I'm from Wisconsin.
Where are you from, Jane?
Missouri, Springfield, Missouri.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
North Carolina. Oh, excellent. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining
Thank
us. This
you.
was
Very
such a nice
helpful.
time.
Thank you very much.
If you want to hop on again in 2 weeks, we'll send out notifications for that one as well. And you can show us where you all are. That's the part to where Shauna and I really get a lot of satisfaction, is being able to see what you all have knitted. And of course, if you have any other questions along the way, we're happy to help. So once again, have a beautiful day, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
You.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye now.
Bye.